Ironheart is Marvel's latest fall from grace.
A show with no soul, just attitude and face.
It trashes Stark and calls theft a win.
Then smiles as the flames consume what could have been. We all saw this coming and nobody listened.
No, there's no beating around the bush here. The show is terrible.
Yeah, that's an understatement of the century, perhaps the millennium.
Now, I want to make very clear, okay? If you like the show, you are welcome to like it. However, there are a couple things to discuss here. So if you'll see on the right, we have Ironheart's armor, the magic-infused armor that's totally not anything to do with Mephisto, just so you know.
Oh, it totally is. How else is she going to get the magic?
They've been hinting that they're going to bring Mephisto into this. But if that wasn't bad enough, they decided, you know what we need to do? We need to tie this to Tony Stark 30. You know what we keep saying? That this character isn't Tony and is not the same and not in the shadow, and then keep bringing up his name for every reason under the sun?
Yeah.
What if we decided, you know what? In the first Iron Man movie, you get to see Ironmonger or Obadiah Stane. What if we did something with that? What if we brought his son, Ezekiel Stane, into the show?
Wouldn't that be great?
If you'll notice on the top left, that guy, the one you saw in the trailer making the joke about the live, laugh, love inside his bunker, that is Ezekiel Stane. If you look below him, that's Ezekiel Stane in the comics. One of these things is not like the others.
One of these things is dead.
What bothers me is Obadiah Stane actually makes an appearance in this show.
Unfortunately.
Do you know how, honey? Do you want to explain how he makes an appearance?
His ashes, and they are contained in a Ziploc bag.
Yes, Ezekiel Stane brings out Obadiah Stane's ashes at one point to make a joke and say,
"Why is he in a bag?" And he says, "We weren't close."
Ha! Ha ha! Isn't that great? Aren't you excited? Watch Ironheart now. Yes, it's amazing. 10 out of 10.
No,
would Ironheart again.
No, it's terrible. No.
It's terrible, and there are ways this show could have worked, but they didn't care. And I want to point out something that everybody got mad at me about this on Twitter, but I'm going to make this very clear.
What?
In the show, we find out the beginning of the show, Riri's already saying that she's going to be bigger than Jobs, bigger than Stark, bigger than whatever. And it's like, wow, you sure sold me on this character right away. I'm totally recognizing that she's not connected to Tony, except that that's exactly what you do.
Yeah.
But do you want to know? So we were told over and over and over again, she's not going to be like in the comics. You guys should just watch the show. It's going to be better. We promise.
No.
Hey, honey, was the show better?
No, it was actually worse.
In the comics, remember, she begs to be oppressed and then whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here, she's in MIT, but she needs money. So what does she do? She sells completed test answers to students. She gets caught. And they're like, hey, that doesn't fly at MIT. You're getting kicked out. And what is you? But wait, we'll let you come back in to get your stuff. Now, Riri, you will see over on the right, you will see the suit, that a little smaller image of the suit that Riri has there. That's the one she's been making in MIT. She's been making it with grant money. Now, people don't seem to understand how grant money works. Let me explain this to you. When you are in a school and you are given a grant of money, does that make the thing that you've made with the money yours?
No.
However, Riri decides that because she made it with grant money, that it's hers. And she just takes it and walks out of MIT with it. Nobody stops her. So people are saying, it was hers. They would have stopped her, whatever. Oh, yes. So when she's flying it back home, they revoke her privileges on the AI that was flying the suit, and it crashes and breaks, and she has to make a new one. Yes. Explain to me, please, Ironheart fans, explain to me why, if it was her suit, right?
Yes. Why do it mid-flight and potentially kill her?
It's almost like, we didn't see a scene of this, but it's almost like she decided the suit was hers, and she walked out with it. But guess what? Now she has parts of a suit, but no suit. So what is she going to do? Does she get a job? Find another
No.
school?
No.
Ask for a loan? No, what does she do, honey?
She joins a gang.
She joins a gang with the guys, and it's okay, though, because she says, I don't want to hurt anybody, and they say they don't do that. So it's okay to rob and steal from the rich, which is what she does with this gang, which, by the way, gotta love some of the names. We have the Hood. We have Clown is one of the people's names.
Yes, literally clown.
And the drag queen named Slug.
Look, slugs.
Yes, it's so awful. And long story short, the acting is not good. She also needs an AI for the suit. So here's what's a genius. Somehow, and don't ask us how, she plugs her brain into the computer and it creates an AI that was supposed to be her.
She was mapping somehow. She created something to map her brain to make an AI version of herself to help pilot the suit. But she fell asleep, and it picked up on her subconscious thoughts while she was dreaming and became her dead friend, Natalie.
So
Please
now,
explain how that works.
yes, I would really like to know. You keep saying she's a genius, but you don't explain how she maps her brain onto a computer. That might be a useful little tidbit.
I mean, they are talking about someone who supposedly created something to track vibranium without knowing the molecular structure of vibranium.
It was an accident. It was a lucky accident. She created a vibranium detector that could detect vibranium without having vibranium.
Oh, no, honey, I can tell you how she's a genius. It's called plot convenience and terrible writing.
They also changed it. Do you know that this version of Riri doesn't actually want to make an Iron Man armor?
What?
She doesn't. She says that if she were to make anything else, that she's a genius, and if she made anything else, no one would care. But people are obsessed with Iron Man suits, so she knows if she makes an Iron Man suit, people will take her seriously.
That is the lamest excuse ever.
And that's the origin of MCU's Ironheart. So much better than the comics. Yes, 10 out of 10. You convinced us, Marvel. You convinced us that you don't know how to write.
Congratulations, you are all incompetent.
Like the video, break the algorithm spell, share with your crew. Escape life's hell, from spooky memes to advice obscure. Here's your dark solace of humor as a cure.